The Bible says that the earth is covered by a glass dome. It isn't. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. So if you grew up going to church and this is surprising to you, it's probably because you're reading from a translation that used a sort of weird, confusing word. The word is firmament, that you will see like in the King James Version and in other even more recent versions of the Bible. But that word firmament refers to a glass covering, a glass dome, not necessarily glass, but a clear dome that covers the earth and separates the water above from the water below. But how does a dome work on a globe? Well, obviously the earth is flat. And we all know neither of those two things are true, even though I'm sure somebody's gonna argue about it in the comments. But what's more important is the fact that the science of all of that is clearly wrong. Like, we've shot rockets up into space. We've viewed the earth from space and we know it's round. We know that there's not a clear dome. We know all of that stuff, which means no one except for the most fringe flat earthers believe that you should take the first couple of chapters of Genesis literally, even though they will make that exact opposite claim, saying that actually you should take it literally. There was only 7 days of creation and all of that. But when you start talking about a glass dome that covers the earth, they say, okay, good, not that. There's actually not a glass dome that covers the earth. Why does that matter? Well, because it gives you permission, if you feel like you needed that, permission to let go of what other people have told you had to take literally in the Bible and all sorts of things. And it gives you the agency to use your own brain and your own powers of reasoning to engage with this ancient spiritual text. But I mean, the thought that comes to my mind when I hear this is, why does it say that? Because it was written like thousands of years ago and they didn't know any better. It was their best guess at what the earth that they lived on was like, that it was flat and it was supported by pillars in water and that there was a glass dome over it and that there were windows in the dome that opened and let the water on the other side of the dome in, and that's what made rain. Clearly this is the book that we want to take scientific information from. But I think there's actually something really helpful about this, because it shows that you don't have to have everything figured out and know everything about everything in order to engage in spiritual practice, in order to have spiritual beliefs and try to connect with the divine or the universe or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to have it all figured out, because God will engage with you on whatever terms you have, whatever knowledge you have. God is going to be open to you connecting with God, because nobody's ever had it all figured out. Which is really helpful when you're in a state of deconstructing or when you're really not sure if you believe anything at all, because it means that you can just take whatever you've got and go with that for now. And as you continue to live your life, that will change and that will grow. Your understanding will expand, hopefully, not contract. And today, you just keep walking.